Hey guys, it's me again. All right, let's go ahead and get started. If you would take a minute or two and read this question a couple of times, pause the video, and then decide what you would do in this problem. All right, so let's take a look. Hopefully you saw that Jasmine has 74 marbles and she has two friends that wants to share them equally. So that should have been a clue that, oh, I'm going to take the 74 marbles and I'm going to divide them or share them. Hopefully you saw by 3. And why? Because she has two friends, and of course she wants some because she bought them. So that would be 3, and I'm going to put m as our variable for marbles. Now, the way we've been solving this division problem is we would count how many marbles we're giving out to each of the people, and we would start with an easy number like 10. So if we gave 10, 10, and 10, we know that 3 groups of 10, so we've used up 30 marbles. So over here we have to subtract the 30 marbles out. We are left with 44. So we give another 10 marbles to each. Okay. Okay. So that's another 30 marbles given out. And that left 14 marbles, and we know that we could give another 4 marbles to each. Why? Because 3 times 4 is 12. It gets us close to 14, but doesn't go over. So we were able to give 10 marbles, 10 marbles, 10 marbles, and then 4 more marbles for a grand total of 24 marbles to each student, with 2 remaining. So if we wrote the answer to this would be 74 divided by 3 is equal to 24 marbles, remainder of 2, because if we broke the marbles up, they wouldn't be any good. So over here, I want to show you a paper and pencil method that cuts down on a lot of this extra writing and all pictures over here. And it's called the forgetting method. And it's not so important that you understand the name of it, but what the process is when doing it. So let's take the same problem, 74 divided by 3, the 74 marbles divided among the 3. Okay? If you remember, I also told you that we could write that sentence like this, 74 divided by 3. Now, the reason we're doing this is this little bracket is going to help us keep everything nice and neat in one little place so that we can easily keep track without it having to be all over the place, like over here where we did all the subtraction over here, we got a multiplication sentence over here, we've got a lot going on, we've got a picture here, so we've got a lot going on. So let's take a look at this. First thing we're going to do is that make sure we have this written correctly, and remember it's kind of weird because we kind of reverse these numbers when we put them underneath the bracket. So 74 divided by 3. Now we're going to draw a little line beside down, and then draw a line like this, almost like a box. And the reason that we do this in the line to the side is this is over here is where we're going to record the number of marbles that we're passing out in this case. So remember, the 3 stands for the people. The 74 stands for the, we'll put MAR, for the marbles. So the first thing we're going to do, just like we did over here, we gave 10 marbles to each of the 3 people. Now you do not have to draw the line with the arrow. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So 10 marbles for each of the 3 people will equal how many marbles did we give out? 30. And if you notice, it's right below the 74, which makes subtracting this out of the original amount, 74, very easy. So if we passed out 30 marbles, we don't have that anymore, so we need to subtract 74 minus 30, which is 44. So we still have marbles to pass out, so that means we need to continue on. So we'll draw another little, actually perpendicular lines there. And so we're going to ask ourselves again, so how many marbles could I give each person again? Of course, I can give 10 more marbles to each of the 3 people, which then in turn is 30 marbles. So then we would ask ourselves, how many marbles are left? There are 14 marbles still left. As you can see, it lines everything up automatically for us and keeps it all together. So we have 14 marbles left. You remember we gave 4 marbles to each of the 3 people again. That equals 12. 12 marbles passed out. And after we do the subtraction, we have 2 marbles left over. So now we can easily count. We gave out 10. We gave out 10 more. We gave out 4 more for a grand total of 24 marbles. We cannot forget we had 2 marbles left over, so we would write remainder 2. So for our equation, 74 divided by 3 is equal to 24, remainder 2. Now, the beauty of this is you're choosing numbers that are easy for you. And so then the reason it's called the forgiving method is that if you don't get close, it will forgive you. It'll let it go, no problem. And you can continue on in your dividing up of whatever it is you're sharing or dividing. So let's take a look and see if we could use different numbers than 10, 10, and 4. Let me extend the page here. So let's say that we had, we're still going to do 74 divided by 3. But what if you noticed and said, wait a minute, well, if I know 3 times 10 is 30, then what if I gave 20 marbles to each of the 3 people? That would use up 60 marbles, because we know 3 times 2 is 6, and there's 1 0 in my factors, so 3 times 20 is 60. That would leave 14 marbles. We've already done this part, so we know that 4 marbles to each of the 3 people will use up 12 more marbles and leave us 2. As you can see, it didn't take us as many steps. Why? Because we grouped larger here. So 20 marbles with 3 gave us 60. So we used up 60 marbles instead of just 30 at a time. And then we did 4 marbles of 3 students is 12. As you notice, though, we still got the same amount. So we gave out 20 marbles and 4 more marbles for 24 marbles total to each child, with a remainder of 2 marbles. So you can see this is a much more efficient way of working out a division problem. Is this the only way? No, this is not the only way. It is just a different way that we need to become familiar with as we are learning these larger division problems. So, take your notes, write down any questions you have, and I'll see you in the morning.